Charlie O'Hara here in our studio today. If you have a legal question, give us a call. Charlie, we've been talking about the roads all morning. What did you experience on your way in?
Well, I actually coming in, there was kind of a complete stoppage, so I had to take another way around. People tend to drive a little fast. A lot of them think, especially when they have a four-wheel drive, they think they can stop quickly. It just means you can go through things. It doesn't mean you can stop.
Okay, so good to know. So it was slick out there for you too, though?
It was a little, well, it really wasn't slick for me, but other people were evidently having problems. I had a four-wheel drive, so it was fine.
You didn't stop suddenly either.
I tried not to.
Good deal. Thanks, Charlie. Okay, we have time enough for some calls this morning. That's why Charlie's here. We'll go ahead and get to those. Good morning. What's your question?
Hi. I just wondered if they could fire you when you can't get out. They said you would lose your job.
Can't get out of the snow, I think he's referring to.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it depends on how you're employed. A lot of people are employed at will, and what at will means the employee can quit whenever they want. The employer can fire you or terminate you whenever they want. A lot of jobs are that way. Now, some jobs, because of unions and things, they have a contract and they have to fire you for certain reasons. That's the only reason they can. Other people sign a contract that has other things in it. But normally speaking, if someone wanted to fire you, they could fire you basically for any reason. It doesn't, other than they're going to get in trouble if they do it because of your religion or your race or things like that. They're protected things. But otherwise, I think they can fire you for any reason. It seems a little harsh in today's, especially last week and early this week, when some people probably couldn't get out, and some businesses were actually closed. The courthouses were closed at times, so and the schools were closed. So it's a hard time to get out. But I suppose, in theory, an employer can do that. You ought to try to get to work if you can. You can always get a cab or try to get your boss to come pick you up. Exactly.
I'm sure they would oblige. Okay, thanks so much for giving us a call. We have time for another one this morning. Hi there, what's your question for Charlie? Good morning, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, I fell at work, and my boss has given me a hard time about it, and she doesn't really want to pay the bill. Do I need to hire an attorney? Thank you.
Probably not yet. You may have to in the end, but most businesses have workers' compensation, which is an insurance policy they're required to have by the state. And if someone gets hurt at work or something like that, and they're a worker, you're supposed to turn that into your insurance company. And that should be done. So your employer should do that. He should have a form or have you talk to the insurance company. If he's not going to do that, you probably ought to call Topeka to the workers' compensation people up there and tell them what's going on. And you still don't get any help from anybody, then I'd go to an attorney. You may have to have an attorney in the end anyway if you've been hurt, but I'd first try that and then go to the attorney.
Okay, good advice. Okay. Thank you, Charlie. We have time for another call this morning. Hi there, what's your question?
Yes. I have my grandchildren living with me in a kinship care situation, and we're getting ready to adopt. And I had a couple of questions. When do I need an attorney to step into this process, and can they help me arrange for the subsidy from the state?
Well, being an attorney, I'm kind of a fan of having an attorney, and any time you get in some situation like that, that you ought to have one. Normally what they do is when they're going through that process, they have a number of social workers and people that work with the court system and make recommendations. Usually that process would go kind of smoothly if everybody wants you to have your grandchildren. If they don't, and you're going to get into a contested area and you see that coming up, I think you definitely do need an attorney. But it depends on what you see coming up and what they're telling you. If they're telling you you're going to get the child and you're the one they're working to get the child and everything's going smoothly, you may not need one. But if it gets adversarial, I for sure would have an attorney.
Okay, good to know. Thank you, Charlie, and have a safe drive out there today.
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling in. We always appreciate our viewers. Charlie will be back next week.